Energy.
Energy.
Hi, my name is Matthew Nelson and welcome to a bonus episode of Runderground. I've had a lot of people request this about my camera equipment, about what to pack, how it is that I plot my routes. I didn't want to do it as one long video. I did want to do it as 3 separate videos just so that I could spend a bit more time to talk about them in depth. So today's video is going to be talking about my camera setup. Let's get started. Now, just as a disclosure for this video, I'm not paid by any brand, I'm not sponsored by anybody. Everything that I say is of my opinion.
That's my opinion!
That's all I'm going to say. What camera do I use? Very good question. So this camera here is the DJI Osmo Pocket. I have spoken about this briefly in maybe 1 or 2 videos. This one is a gimbal based camera. It records in 4K 60 frames a second. However, I tend to film my videos usually in 2.7K at either 30 frames or 24 frames a second, depending on the type of mood that I want the video to be. However, this camera is not without its gripes. What I do not like about this camera is the fact that there's no input for an external mic. I just don't understand how a camera as fantastic as this doesn't have a mic input. And if you do wish to use an external mic, you can use an adapter from the DJI store. I got this one that was off-brand, I think from Amazon, which maybe cost me 20, maybe 25 quid. Either way, it's still a lot of money for what it does. Then you plug it into the bottom in the USB-C input, but then the problem with this is that you can't use an external mic while charging the camera. It's either one or the other. Make that make sense, because I cannot make sense of it.
Could somebody please make it make sense?
Anyway, now that we're leading on to microphones, these are the types of mics that I use. So I use these guys here. This is from Rode. These are the Rode Wireless Go mics. So this one here is the wireless transmitter that is going to plug onto my camera, which I'm going to show you how I do that in a second. I've always loved using Rode mics. I own quite a few Rode mics in my kit, but these ones in particular is what I use for running because I did want that quality sound and I didn't want to compromise it from using the inbuilt camera mic. I find inbuilt camera mics usually a bit sort of lackluster. Now I can use this as a standalone mic and it can clip onto the top of my shirt. However, for me visually, I find it a little bit too distracting, which is why I do use a lapel mic, which is a bit which is a bit tangled at the minute. I'm going to plug the lapel mic into here and then I'm just going to pop this behind my running shirt and then I pop it into the rear pocket of my shorts, and then I've got the microphone that's here. Now you might wonder, where is it that I hide my mic? This is where the headband comes in. So I'm just going to pop this over my head, as a headband should, and then I'm just going to get my mic and then hide it under here. If you watch the first 2 episodes of Runderground, I used to have my mic that was set on the side. However, it didn't click until I think I was halfway through the 3rd day of Runderground, where I was like, I could just hide the microphone underneath my headband. I can't believe why I didn't think of that before. Now, I don't like running with a camera out, holding my arm out. I find that my arm does get pretty tired pretty easily. So as a way to counteract that, I do use a selfie stick. Controversial, but it really shouldn't. It does what it needs to do. So I did buy this 3rd-party attachment. Again, I got it from Amazon. It has a cold shoe mount as well as a fixture for me to stick the camera on. I'm just going to slide this over here, and then with the cold shoe mount, I'm then going to put the Rode wireless mic on here, and then I'll clip that in to the transmitter at the bottom. And this is my simple rig for using the DJI. The reason why I did choose the DJI was that it has a narrower field of view. I have used GoPros and a Sony Handcam previously, however I found that the angle was just too wide. Now with them sorts of angles, they do look fantastic when you are getting lots of action, lots of sports footage. However, because a lot of my content is vlog based, I don't like vlogs that are too wide angled, so that's why the DJI, as much as it may be sometimes a bit too narrow, I do like that sort of effect that it brings. Now the problem with this rig here is, as there is a lot of electronics that are on shore, this is not waterproof, so as a way for me to get around this, I do actually use my phone sometimes in order for me to film, say if it's raining, maybe for example at Heathrow. As you see, the terminal itself, so this is my my other setup, I use a Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. I believe that it is waterproof for up to 30 minutes, so I am more than happy with having this out in the rain. And then I do use a basic selfie stick here as well. Now, other bits of basic tech that I do bring with me along my runs, I do bring a standard USB-C cable. That's so I can charge my phone if it's low on battery, or if I need to charge my DJI. I also bring an external battery pack. Now, to show what that looks like all in action, I did go over to the Olympic Park earlier. I will say that the picture profile used was a little bit questionable, so apologies if it is a little bit grainy. However, we're going to take ourselves over to the Olympic Park. Let's see what happens over there. Alright, so we have come to this disused road here, near to the Olympic Park. We are being safe, we're not just running in the middle of the road without any precautions. Let's get started. How does it look like on there? Does it look like what you were expecting? But this is a full look. And if the weather is a little bit wet, this is what I tend to film my videos on. So this is recorded on my phone right now. This is the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. So you'll see that the video quality is a little bit different as well as the sound. However, yeah, this is the only splash-proof, waterproof camera that I have if I can't use the DJI Osmo Pocket. It is hot. We're going to talk a little bit more about the camera, but first of all, we need to find some shade. It is literally the hottest day of the year. It's 38 degrees. So as you saw from that footage earlier, it was hot. It was very, very hot. But my general thoughts so far, I do really like the setup that I have. I'm always up for experimenting with maybe other cameras sometime down the line. However, in terms of right now, that has been my go-to kit. Excluding the selfie sticks, my phone and my headband, everything else that you've seen fits into here. So I know that everything that I need is all in here ready to go. So that's why I love the compact size of the DJI as well as all the equipment that I have. At the end of the day, I don't want anything that's too heavy for me. It's just additional weight, and if things are heavier, I just get tired quicker. So that's why I try to pack as light as I can, which brings me on to next time, where I'll be talking about what it is that I pack for my Runderground runs. I look forward to sharing that with you. But other than that, that is everything from me. If you have any other questions, do let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is the type of content that you are interested in, do feel free to subscribe down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time for Runderground.